Hey everybody, it's Rykard here again, back with another black and white Pokemon analysis. Today, we're going to be discussing the nursing Pokemon, known as Hahakurimo. So let's get started by taking a look at its typing, abilities, and stats. So first off, this Pokemon sports the dual Bug Grass typing similar to Parasect. And while this typing does give you 4 times resistances to ground and grass, while also giving you resistance to electric, water, and fighting, you are unfortunately 4 times weak to flying and fire, and you're also weak to ice, poison, bug, and rock, which is quite a bit of weaknesses for this Pokemon, and it's kind of unfortunate, but what can you do? As for its abilities, the first one it gets is known as Swarm, which is a cool ability that allows the bug type stab moves that you use to be increased to 1.5 their normal power when you're at a third of your health or less, similar to the way Torrent works for water. So it can be pretty cool to use as a way to have more power when you're at lower HP with your stab bug moves. Up next, we have Chlorophyll, which is an excellent ability to have when you're using a sunny day team or when there is sun on the field, because it doubles your speed in the sunshine, allowing this Pokemon to be incredibly fast and do a lot of damage with that high speed. Lastly, we have Dustproof as its Dreamworld ability, which prevents any weather effects from hurting you, meaning the damage you take from sandstorm or hail. So that could be useful if you want to be able to effectively use this Pokemon on a team that's using sandstorm or hail, so that it isn't hurt by any of those weather effects. As for the stats, it has 70 HP coupled with 80 defense and 80 special defense, which is not terrible defenses, but still not the best in the world either. And since this Pokemon has plenty of weaknesses, these defenses won't really matter much anyways because of the fact that there are so many different types of attacks that can hurt you. As for its attacking stats though, it has 103 physical attack, which is really great, meaning that this Pokemon can definitely hurt a lot of things from the physical side, whereas it also has 70 special attack, which is okay, and somewhat usable if you want to try and make use of it, which I do in one of the sets you will see. Lastly, it has 92 speed, which is a very random number for speed in my opinion, but it still allows this Pokemon to be fast and do a bunch of damage before your opponent can attack you because of that speed. But with that, let's get started by taking a look at a couple of sets for this Pokemon. So first off, we have this set, which is going to try to make use of Hahakurimo's really high physical attack. So we're going to give it a Jolly Nature to increase its speed but lower its special attack. And then for the ability, we could either be using Swarm or Chlorophyll. The reasoning behind this is if you have a Sun team, probably you should use Chlorophyll to allow this Pokemon to be incredibly fast as well as very powerful on the physical end. But if not, you should go with Swarm because that'll allow you to increase the power of your stab bug move when you're at a third of your health or less. As for the EVs, we're going to put 4 into HP to increase that stat by 1 point, 252 into attack to give you your highest attack, and then 252 to give into speed to give you your highest speed possible because of the Jolly Nature. As to the item, we're going to be making use of a Life Orb to allow us to do even more damage, even though we do take some recoil every time we use an attacking move with it. For the moveset though, the first one we're going to be making use of is Swords Dance as a way to increase our physical attack by 2 stages every time it's used. And this is great because of this Pokemon's naturally high physical attack, so after one Swords Dance, you'll be able to do a ton of damage with anything that you do. The main moves that you're going to be using though with this Swords Dance set will be Leaf Blade as its most powerful physical grass stab move, X Scissor as its most powerful physical bug stab move, and then either Shadow Claw or Poison Jab, depending on which you want to use. Poison Jab does give you the same super effective attacking types against grass as X Scissor does, if you know what I meant right there. So it's kind of redundant to have it, but it also isn't resisted by as many things as X Scissor is. So you could potentially replace X Scissor with Poison Jab if you want, and there's also that chance to poison your opponent as well, which is why I put it on here. But otherwise, Shadow Claw is probably the better option just because of the fact that it is resisted by the least amount of other types. because grass and bug types don't exactly aren't exactly the best attacking types in the world. So really, these are just like the four moves that you could make use of with a set like this, since the only other like physical moves that it use or can learn that would be made use of at all would be possibly aerial ace for a flying type move, or return as just a powerful normal type move. But other than that, this is pretty much a basic set for any Pokemon that can learn Swords Dance. So let's take a look at the next one, which is similar to this but slightly different. So as for this next set, it's pretty much the same with the nature, EVs, ability, and item. The only thing that's different though is the moveset, which can allow this Pokemon to do something else other than attack. Instead of Swords Dance, we're going to be using Claw Sharpen as a way to not only increase our physical attack by one stage, but also increase our accuracy by one stage. And with that accuracy increase, we're going to be trying to make use of this move known as Grass Whistle, which is essentially sleep powder, but less accurate. But Grass Whistle has 55% accuracy, which makes it one of the worst sleep-inducing moves in the game in terms of accuracy. So what Claw Sharpen will allow you to do is boost your accuracy, thus allowing Grass Whistle to hit more often. And I believe after one Claw Sharpen, it has over 60% accuracy, meaning that it's even better than Hypnosis. So that's always a plus, and allows this Pokemon to not only just be a attacking threat, but also a possible sleep inducer as well on your team. And that's always a plus if you don't have one at all. But for the attacking moves, again, you can choose between Leaf Blade or X Scissor as your main stab move, and then Shadow Claw or Poison Jab as your secondary move in order to do damage to something else that resists Leaf Blade or X Scissor, and that will allow this Pokemon to at least do something more than just use its stab moves. Lastly, we have a set to make use of Hahakurimo's special attack, even though it's not as good as its physical attack. But for this, we're going to give it a Timid Nature to increase its speed but lower its physical attack. And again, we're going to be choosing between Swarm or Chlorophyll depending on what type of team you are using. As for the EVs, 4 are going to go into HP to give you one more hit point into that, 252 EVs into Special Attack to give you the highest special attack you can get with a Timid Nature, and then 252 EVs into Speed to give you your max speed possible. As for the item, this time we're going to be making use of Leftovers, since we're going to be using a Sub-Calm Mind set, and with this kind of set, you'll be increasing your special defense by one stage every time you use Calm Mind, and since you're behind a sub, the special defense boosts you'll get will hopefully not allow your opponent to break your sub if it's a special attacker, and because of that, Leftovers is a great item to have, which will allow you to keep recovering health every time you sub down. So it's a pretty effective way of staying alive while also boosting your stats. As for the main moves though that you're going to be using, first you're going to be using Energy Ball as your main grass stab move, and then Air Slash as your other attacking move, because Hahakurimo gets this as an egg move. So Air Slash could function in multiple ways in this set, because you are maxing out your speed, so the chance of flinching will definitely be a possibility, thus allowing you to gain more Leftovers recovery and potentially remain behind your sub if you have that up. And also, it'll allow you to hit things that Energy Ball isn't super effective against, so that is always a plus. But this is a pretty basic set as well, but Sub-Calm Mind is always an excellent set to have no matter what Pokemon it is, and since this Pokemon does have some pretty okay defenses, I guess, Calm Mind will definitely be very beneficial to increase those defenses even higher. Unfortunately though, any physical attackers will possibly easily break through this set because of the fact that you're boosting your special defense as opposed to your physical defense. But that is pretty much it for Hahakurimo. This Pokemon also can be a decent dual screener as well, but I didn't put one of those sets in here, but I just figured I'd make a note of that at the end of the video. So I hope you guys like this video, and take care and goodbye.